Oh
Oh my
my
gosh,
God,
it's
guys, we
great.
are here with TikTok star Albert Mendoza. Welcome to On the Downbeat.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, I'm so excited. First of all, I want to just say how I met you was on TikTok. I didn't even know you lived in Arizona, and I was like, wait, this kid is from Arizona, and I'm actually like a loyal like TikTok fan. Like I've been watching, and I was like,
That's so insane.
I don't even think I realized it was like you lived in Arizona until I saw you at Charlotte. So I was like, wait, hello, what are you doing here? Like.
That's so crazy because I feel like I've known of you um for a while just through like
Of me?
I've known yeah, just because I've known so many people you've done shows with.
What?
And I finally like got to meet you during Shirtless Web. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's
Well, like I
amazing.
knew who you were, but I didn't know like you lived in Arizona. I was like, oh my God, who's this like this famous TikToker doing theater somewhere? I don't know. So, and I was like, oh my God, this kid. Like I was sending like all your videos to my friends. I'm like, oh my God, this is so real. This is me. This is me. Because I love your TikToks. So you always talk about how like
Thank you.
you're a dancer first, even though you're an amazing singer.
Mhm. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working.
I identify as actor first, and then singing second. Dancing last, like dead last. Like I'm not a dancer at all.
I think we're opposite.
You're opposite. What are you?
Dancer and then singer and actor. Like they
Oh,
fight.
yeah.
They fight for the bottom spot. It
Yes.
really depends.
And then you have like the turning challenges on your page. Love turning
Thank
to the
you.
beat of like Wicked and what are the other ones?
That's it. I've been trying to find more like audios like that, but I can't. I'm so sad.
Mhm. So wait,
There was like,
you're
hmm?
like a turner. I don't know. I don't know dance terms.
Yeah, that's it. A Turner. Um, yeah, I don't know how I figured that out. I just kind of did.
Yeah. So when did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 3.
Hmm.
Both of my older sisters were dancing, and so like immediately once I grew up, I just kind of like wanted to dance.
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom always told a story about like the first time my sisters went to a dance competition, I was so upset because I couldn't go. And
Really?
when they were like, okay, let's throw this kid in dance. And then I
Oh.
just kind of grew up on stage since
So
then.
you started dancing, and then how did you get into musical theater? So what was your first exposure to musical theater?
My first exposure to musical theater, I think, was actually, now that I'm thinking back on it, through Vivian.
Really?
Vivian Page
Vivian,
Nichols,
oh, my
my
favorite, Vivian
love.
Page
I grew up
Nichols.
with her dancing and
Really?
her whole family. Yeah. Um,
VPN.
and I'm pretty sure my first like ever actual exposure to theater was seeing one of her shows.
Really?
Or at
I
least that
love
I can
her.
remember was going to see her at VYT. And then I
Yeah.
was like, this is cool. I want to do this. And then I like
Hmm.
just kind of got into it from there.
Ooh, that's so fun. And then being in musical theater, who was your biggest musical theater influence?
I don't know. I feel like I try not to influence myself based off of like a singular person, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
Because I feel like for the longest time, the last year or so, I'd say, I've really been trying to focus on like, you are not anyone else, you're you. I'm
Real.
me. I want to be me. Um, because when I was 15, I played Dimitri,
Hmm.
and I remember I was in a voice lesson and I was working on that song, that poor song. But I remember I sang literally the first like 2 measures that I grew up on the fly. And my voice
Hmm.
teacher saw me and she's like, why are you trying to be Derek Klena?
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, wait, you have a point. And then she was like, don't sing it like Derek Klena, sing it like you, because people
Hmm.
like you. And I was like, and ever since then, that's kind of stuck with me. So I've tried to not like
Hmm.
think myself,
Yeah.
associate myself with other people. But I'd say, looking up wise, honestly, the people I grew up with, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I think that's really smart and also really hard to do because you've done some of the most iconic shows like Newsies and then you did Cinderella, and then now
Mhm.
you're doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like those are some pretty iconic shows with like very heavy names attached to them. So I kind of wanted to talk
Yes.
about Newsies first. So you did Newsies in 2023. You were Albert,
Yes, I
period.
was. I played
Albert was
me.
Albert. So what was your audition like for that show?
My audition for that show, it was actually 2024, but
Oh, 2024. Oh,
I
period.
remember in 2023 when that show got announced in like a season announcement, I was sitting in my fourth hour world history class as a freshman
Mm-hmm.
in high school, and I was like, "Oh, I need to do that show." Like I
Yes.
remember, I think I turned to my friend next to me and I was like, "Hey, I'm doing this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to do this show." And I just remember last season, last theater season, 23, 24, I was a sophomore in high school. And like I was doing shows doing what I wanted, but like in my brain, I was like, I'm auditioning for this show. I want to do this show really bad. Um, except the deal with my parents was you have to have a license before you can like start doing shows a little bit more further out. I was like, okay. So I audition, I get a call back. I start going back into dance classes because I hadn't danced in like 6 years really. So I'm starting to brush up a bit more. And then I end up going to the callbacks a day after I get my license. I have a fun time at callbacks. I remember the combo still. And then I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I got an email and it was like, we'd like to offer you a role in Newsies. And so obviously I immediately said
Ooh,
yes, 'cause I love that show.
yay. And so, one, what did you sing for that show? And then two, what's in your audition book now?
Okay, so for Newsies, I sang Heaven's Light from Hunchback actually.
Oh, period.
Very not Newsies, but it was like a combined audition. I was auditioning for Newsies and Cinderella,
Mm.
but I ended up singing Heaven's Light. Um, would I sing that again for Newsies? Probably not. But as of my book right now, my book's a baby. I'm
Okay.
trying to build it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the most notable songs is Try Me From She Loves Me. I love that one.
Ooh, I loved that show.
It's a great song, great
And it's
show.
coming to Hale.
It is. I'm so excited. I need to like figure out all my audition plans for the future for this next season because every theater is doing good shows.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. What else? Christoph's Lullaby. I haven't done that one recently, but that's
Mm-hmm.
still a great song. And I love a good like quiet, breathier song. Not a huge belter. That's a lie. I like to belt. But like I love a good quiet, breathy song. So
Yeah.
Christoph's Lullaby. I have this like very underground one called I'll Save the Girl. It's from this movie called not movie, this musical called Superhero. I
Mm-hmm.
had never heard of it till I got it recommended to me, but it's very somewhat Star Kid-esque, very modern.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blanking. That's all I can think of right
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me personally, I always sing the same song, and I like recently changed it, and now for the past two auditions, I've been singing that same song. But honestly, it's been keeping me booked, so I'm like,
now.
period work.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
what did rehearsal look like for Newsies?
Rehearsals for Newsies, I believe it was 5 weeks of rehearsals. I remember we started like the whole first week was just music rehearsals. We got like I think 3 or 4 rehearsals to whip together that music. I remember that was my first full length show,
Ooh.
like ever. I'd only done like youth editions and juniors and like small original stuff before that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was also my first time working with adults. And I
Yeah.
just remember we sang Once and For All the first time, and I genuinely thought I was gonna melt because it just sounded so cool. But the rest of rehearsals, we just kind of started from the beginning
Mm-hmm.
with choreography. I remember that was the first time I was dancing like that in like
Yeah.
6 years. So it kind of took a toll on my body, but I got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like by the last week, it was just kind of running and cleaning. It felt
Yeah.
really smooth. I love that rehearsal process.
And was Lincoln Wright the music director?
Yes, I love
I love him.
Lincoln.
I love Lincoln. He is so sweet. So you had a very like rare experience of like performing in a very great space, but like your space is in the round. So what is it like
Yeah,
doing a show in the round? That's like so cool to me.
I haven't done anything not in the round in over a year. So to
Hmm.
me, it feels normal. It's just a lot of, I've been doing a lot of ensemble work there recently. So all of the choreo, instead of facing forward, everyone's just facing out.
Yeah.
A lot of circular formations. I hope you like circles because you're going to be in a lot of circles in the round.
Yeah.
And it honestly is very easy to get used to.
Mm.
It took me like one or two performances, and I
Yeah.
feel more comfortable around honestly right now.
So do you guys have like a hallway? Like how do you get to each little portal so quickly?
So the way Hale, Arizona is built is we have four tunnels. So literally in the rehearsal space, it'll just be like tunnel one, two, three, four. Tunnel one is the lobby, so that's where all the patrons come in through. We'll go out there, and then to the right or to the east of the stage, technically, there's a hallway where like bathrooms are, and that's where backstage access is. If you
Hmm.
go up that hallway, you can enter through tunnel four, which is below the stage manager's booth. And
Yeah.
then if you keep going west, you'll have tunnel three. So our backstage area just kind of looks like it's basically just like a little rectangle that's 2 stories high. And then if you go back southwest again, that's actually a stair. We call that stair two. And you can enter from upstairs.
Okay. So is it like tight and crowded backstage, or is it like kind of like spacious, roomy?
It's kind of crowded. It really depends on the show. Um,
Yeah.
because it really depends how many people are on stage.
Hmm.
But overall, it's not super crowded. It's
Yeah.
comfortable,
It's
definitely.
comfortable.
But most
And
people will be in their dressing rooms. So
yeah.
sorry, what were you saying?
No, no, no. And Newsies is such a like a high paced show. And you said that you weren't dancing for 6 or 7 years. So what song or scene was like the most physically demanding?
I'd say Seize the Day was definitely
Ooh, yeah.
the most demanding for me
Hmm.
at least, because we had World Will Know and we had that scene, and then we went off and there was just Watch What Happens to like physically prepare for that.
Hmm.
Except I remember I had a scene change like right before Watch What Happens, so I only had the song. And I remember I would just kind of grab my crop. I would grab my prop, grab my little newspaper. I'd do the splits real quick, and then that was it. But yeah, Seize the Day is a 9 minute number, and then I would get beat up after that. So I'd say probably that.
You got beat up.
Yeah, I got
Wait,
beat up by one of the Delanceys.
like in the show.
Yeah, in the show.
Okay, I was like, what is going on? Oh my God. And so I'm dying to know, what is Albert Mendoza's pre-show ritual? How do you get ready for your shows?
I honestly don't know. I'd have wait. I always in my dressing room. I like to have a little speaker. This is my new speaker I just got.
Hey.
With music, I love to make like a little dressing room playlist because normally, uh, at the space where I'm working right now, there's like 4 to 5 dressing rooms, and each of them has like 5 to 6 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little dressing room, a little community.
Hey. Yeah.
So I have my group speaker, but it really
Mm-hmm.
depends on the day. Some days I feel motivated and I'm done 10 minutes before show, and suddenly I'm stretching. And
No,
some
that's
shows
so
I'm
real.
running time on
That's so
places.
real. How long does it take you to get ready for a show?
It really depends who's with me in the dressing room, honestly. It depends how
Yeah.
chatty I am. If I'm really like focused, 20 minutes, I'd
I'm
say.
I am so chatty. I literally get to the theater like as early as possible because I know I'm chatty. So I just know it takes me a long time to get ready.
I love getting to the theater like an hour before.
And especially if I'm not like the first one on stage, I'm definitely not ready at call. I'm like, yeah, I got. And for Annie right now, I definitely have like a good 15 minutes. I will not be ready at places.
Yeah,
I'll have
exactly.
my mic
That's gonna
on.
be me with Charlie. I will come on for 25 minutes.
Really?
I'm gonna be using that time.
And then one of the another show, iconic show that you played was Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and you were
Yes.
Fox, Raccoon, and an ensemble swing.
Yes, I was.
That is super cool, one. And for anyone who doesn't know, can you explain what a swing is?
So a swing is someone in musical theater that understudies multiple roles. It tends to normally be ensemble. Mine was just like all the male ensemble in that show. But yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty
all
much
the
it.
male, like all the males.
It
Oh,
was six people.
wow. And you were the only swing? Are there other swings or?
There was one male swing and one female swing for that show, and we all just covered, the two of us covered 12 roles
Wow.
together.
Wow. You covered so many. And so who were the six? Were they just like male one, male two, male three, or
They were just listed as ensemble. I
yeah.
eventually going into the run, I started to realize I was like, I need to break this down on some paper. So I named them male one, male two, male three. Uh, but originally it was just kind of their own ensemble track. And it's like a lot of things at Hale tend to be color coded, kind of. So like there was the green couple, the blue couple, the purple couple, the pink couple who had like blue on, if that makes sense. Like costume wise, kind of breaks down the tracks.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, that must have been so much fun. And so you broke it down like that. And so what was one of the challenges of having so many tracks to cover and being a swing?
Honestly, in a show like Cinderella, there wasn't many challenges because there's only two dance numbers, but the biggest challenge for sure was doing 10 minutes ago in the round. All of the ensemble was dancing around Topher and Ella in a circle, and that choreography went on for 5 minutes, and our circle like would stop and we'd do a trick and then it'd keep going. So I remember like my first swing on, I had a hard time finding those landing spots.
Mhm.
And then after that first swing on, I was like, okay, I need to be on top of formations more.
Yeah, so what's a swing on?
The swing on is when I would perform in the show. I had about eight, I
Oh.
think. Normally, I would just get a text like the day of or a few hours before and be like, hey, you're on for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, thank you so much.
Hey.
It was a fun 7 weeks where I was scared to get a text from my stage manager.
Yeah, and so what do rehearsals look like for you as a swing?
As a swing, it was mostly just like you do the show, you just kind of sit on the sidelines in rehearsal,
Mm-hmm.
learn it from your chair. I know some people take notes. I didn't take notes. I would go back and take notes if I swung again. That's a mistake I made.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for mostly for me, it was just watching. And then if someone is out, you learn it in their place.
Okay. And what's one swing secret that you wish more people knew about?
This is not a secret. This is just something I missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
But treat every costume change like a quick change. You've never done this before. You didn't, unless you're really lucky, you didn't get to perform this in Tech Week and run it
Mm-hmm.
with full costumes and makeup ever. And your first time doing that is in front of an audience. Treat every quick change or treat every change like a quick change, or
Yeah.
else you will be terrified.
And did you have a favorite track that you love to swing on for?
Yes, I swung on for him only once. It was my M5 technically.
Mm-hmm.
He was ensemble and he was also the Fox. The Fox was really fun.
Yeah. And
There
so
was
when you go on as a swing, the part you traditionally play, do you still play that part along with your swing? Like, how does that work?
I was an offstage swing, so I didn't have a part at all.
Oh,
I would
okay.
just come to the show twice a week and watch.
Okay, period. And that's was that fun for you? Like, what was that like? Like being a part of
I
the show, but not like performing with everyone every night.
I had a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes it was like, oh, I wish I was on stage. But yet again, sometimes you need a break. And sometimes it's nice to be able to just kind of chill backstage um, and watch a show and get to appreciate your castmates. It definitely made me appreciate performing more. Like
Yeah.
now, if I'm ever tired, I'll just think back and be like, hey, remember when you didn't know like when your closing performance of Cinderella was? And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll instantly be like, okay, I want to enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what has been the most wild or last minute on stage save that you had to do?
I had a mid-show swing on in Cinderella, actually.
Oh, were you at the theater for
I was not,
Oh, where were
I
you?
I was at a hip hop class. I took
Oh.
my friend to a hip hop class, luckily 5 minutes away from the theater. But I
Mm.
exit the class and I check my phone, and it's like uh, two missing calls from stage manager, text from stage manager, two missing calls from ASM, text from ASM, and I'm like, oh no. And so I read them all, and it's like, hey, so and so, like got ran over, not ran over, but the carriage, one of the guys who like helped pull the carriage on and off,
Mm-hmm.
it like ran over his toe and they were like, he needs to go to the hospital. Are you able to come in? And this is like at the very end of Act One, and these texts were said 10 minutes ago. Or
Mm-hmm.
like this was in the middle of intermission. So I rushed over to the theater and I got there at the very end of intermission. And I only did like the second half of Act Two.
Oh
But I
my
did it.
God. And now you're a trooper. And so I think this is so cool. I saw you post about this on your story of how excited you were. Your next show is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you are playing
Yes,
Mike TV.
I
Oh my
am.
God, are you so excited?
I am so excited. I think, yeah, no, this is my first like dream role I get to cross off,
Hmm.
which is so crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm so excited.
What was your reaction when you found out you were going to be Mike TV?
I was in class. I was in math class. For some
Hmm.
reason, I'm always in math class whenever I find out
Hmm.
casting offers. And I remember checking my email. It was like a Tuesday morning. I was not expecting it to be on a Tuesday morning. I was like, let's check my email just in case. And it was like, hello, Albert, would like to offer you the role of my TV. And I literally just kind of like froze in my math class. I remember, and that teacher's super strict. Like I couldn't leave, couldn't like it was silent. And
Yeah,
I remember like silently freaking out to myself.
yeah.
Um, it felt like Beyonce at the
Like
Grammys.
Beyonce.
It honestly felt like Beyonce at the Grammys where I was just like, wait, wait, really? And I just kind of
That's
starstruck
funny.
for a bit.
So, what was the audition process for that show?
The audition process for that show, I auditioned for it back in September
Oh,
of
period.
2024. I auditioned for like it was like a four-show clump, and Charlie was in it. I auditioned for it, I think a month later. Yeah, a month later, they sent out callbacks. And I was like, cool, Mike TV callback slash ensemble. My goal was a Mike TV callback. I was like,
Yeah,
goal accomplished. Lovely.
yeah.
And going into callbacks, I was like, we're here to play. That's my mindset going into every callback. Every
Hmm.
callback is a free dance class, first of all,
A,
and
I like
it's an
that.
opportunity to perform. So I was like, okay, we're here to play, we're here to perform. I was in the middle of Anything Goes during those callbacks.
Oh.
And as a sailor and Anything Goes, it's very like tight and stern. And I was like, okay, this is like a time to let loose. And
Hmm.
that's what I did. I just had
Yeah.
fun with the scenes.
So, what are you looking forward to the most about playing Mike TV?
I am looking forward, honestly, to getting to shoot all the special effects.
Oh,
I talked with the guy who is like in charge of all that, and he's like, uh, one of these days we're gonna have hopefully like a very long shoot, and we want to input you into like all these different TV shows and use a bunch of green screen for idiots.
Oh.
And I think that is just going to be a blast to film and a blast to
Mm-hmm.
like see that,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like seeing yourself on
Yeah.
screen for a show. I don't know. I think it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, and do you plan to like use any versions of Charlie for like inspiration? Are you like trying to create your totally 100% original Mike TV?
I went to this vocal workshop back in March
Mm-hmm.
where he uses technique for singing, but I think it can apply to acting too, where he, like, if you're learning Hallelujah was the example, if you need to sing Hallelujah, you watch like a bunch of different people sing Hallelujah, you make note of it, you're like, what do I like about this? What do I not like? Take note of
Mm-hmm.
everything you like, and you kind of mush it all together. That's what I've been starting to do. I need to find more slam tutorials, um, because I'm starting to know the Broadway slam tutorial like the back of my hand. I need to see some more takes on it.
Yeah, and if you could step into the shoes of any of the kids for a day, Veruca, Violet, Augustus, or Charlie, who would it be and why?
Well, it depends for your post
Pre,
contest.
pre for sure.
Pre,
Pre-contest.
I think Veruca.
Yeah, she gets what she
Veruca,
wants.
yeah, she gets what she wants. She's a point dancer. Like that's fun.
Yes. Wait, can you do point?
No, I've never done point. Traditionally, point like guys don't do point
Mm-hmm.
normally, and it's just the girls because in ballets, guys are there to lift, and you can't really like. Well, you could lift
Oh,
and point, but it just wouldn't be a thing.
okay, I see, I see. And I have a game before we do our closing statement. It's called
Okay.
everyone's favorite Smash or Pass.
Okay.
And it's musical theater characters. So I'm gonna name some and then you could tell me if they're Smash or Pass.
Okay.
Okay. Jack Kelly.
Pass.
Pass?
Controversial. Yeah.
Whoa.
I think it's because I've done the show, and I
Because you
just
know. Okay.
now I imagine the person who is in that role.
Okay, Orpheus from Hadestown.
Smash.
Okay, okay. This one's kind of crazy. Evan Hansen from Dear Evan Hansen.
Pass.
Hey, he had his redemption at the end.
True.
And then um um Prince Topher from Cinderella.
This is again pass because I'm just imagining the
Okay.
person I know in real life who played it.
Frozen, I mean not Frozen, Kristoff from Frozen.
Smash.
Oh, period. Billy Flynn from Chicago.
Pass.
Pass? Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was like, wait. Emmett Forrest from Legally Blonde.
Pass. 3-in-1 shampoo. Mm-mm. No, thank you. 3-in-1 shampoo. I don't die on that.
What? Um,
Okay.
whoa. That's a hot take.
I didn't know that was a hot take. Wow.
JD from Heathers. And if you say
Pass.
sma
Psycho.
okay, I think you say Smash This. Like if you say Smash This, you're actually crazy. Oh my God. That's the fun. Okay. And for my last question, if you could play any role regardless of gender, age, or anything else, what would it be and why?
I feel like I always have this like answer whenever no one asks me the question. Any role? Honestly, Cassie and a chorus line.
Oh my God.
Cassie and a
That's kind
chorus
of real.
line. I would love to do music in the mirror.
Yes.
Play me the music.
That'd be so much fun. It's been so much fun talking to you. Where can everyone find you next?
Y'all can find me next in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have the link to tickets in my Instagram bio, not in my TikTok, I don't think, but my Instagram and my TikTok are Albert's Breathing, and hopefully in the far future you'll see me on Broadway. Speaking of
I
hope,
totally, and also this is totally off topic. I read your Instagram username as Albert, like beating, like heart beating.
no, it's Albert is Breathing. I picked that at age 13, and I'm sticking with it for life.
I also thought it was like a Lizzo reference, because you know how like it's like Lizzo,
Oh
I,
yeah,
but it's like not Lizzo beating, it's like Lizzo be eating.
oh yeah.
I thought that's what you were like trying to do there, but I love it.
No, 13-year-old
Albert
me decided I'm
Albert is
breathing.
breathing on all platforms, guys. The amazing
Yes.
Albert Mendoza. This has been real.